Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brianna Lentz, and today we're going to be talking about 50 more patriotic cross stitch patterns. Alright, if this is the first time you're seeing one of my Patriotic Cross Stitch Patterns video, this is part 2 or video number 2 because I'm not sure how many parts there's going to be. 3, maybe 4. I know there's going to be at least one more. However, you may have missed my first one. So if you've missed 50 Patriotic Cross Stitch Patterns video number 1, I'll have that link down below so you can watch that after or before you watch this one. So you guys, I have found so many more, so many more, and I'm going to be taking another deep dive into about 7 different designers today. So in my first video, I went and did a deep dive into 7 of the first designers that I mentioned, and you guys really seem to like that. I asked you to comment down below if you guys enjoyed that, and you guys definitely did. You guys have enjoyed seeing not just the new patriotic patterns, but the older ones in some of our favorite designers' library. So today we're going to be starting off with Twin Peak Primitives. I just have to decide which side of the screen I want to sit on, and I think I like having that in the background. So if you haven't seen any of these videos before, I'm going to be looking down on my screen because I have my laptop right here where I will be looking at the 50 patterns that I will be discussing today because I've already organized them and put them on my website at briannalentz.com, where you can watch and see everything that I discussed today in chronological and parallel order as I tell them today in this video. So if you want to see in more detail the patterns that I'm discussing, go ahead and click that link down below. It'll take you to my post at briannalentz.com for the part 2 of my 50 Patriotic Cross Stitch Patterns video. And at the very bottom, there will be a printable PDF file that you can print as well, so that way you can keep track of all the patterns that I discuss in these videos. You guys have said that's been a really helpful resource to you, so I'm happy to do that because I'm making it anyway to keep myself organized. And I will be showing the pattern on the screen over here as long as I remember to give myself enough room to do that. And like I said, we are going to be, I'm going to be talking about Twin Peak Primitives first and ending with Plum Street Samplers. So I'm going to be doing 5 to 10 patterns from like 6 designers, and then we're going to be doing 18 patriotic patterns from Plum Street Samplers, who I think is has some of the most beautiful patriotic patterns of all time. So without further ado, I also want to say thank you for all of your love and commentary on video number 1. I really appreciate it. So I just want you to know I really appreciate you commenting down below what you like and what you would like to see in the next video, because I did listen to those of you who commented who you'd like to see in this video today. I listened, and I think you'll see that. And it helps me know how to better orchestrate these videos for you guys watching. So anyway, so without further ado, let's talk about Twin Peak Primitives. So Twin Peak Primitives has a lot of patriotic patterns, like a lot, and a lot of really good ones. I chose, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7. And the first one that I'm going to share today is Patriotic Book 2024. Twin Peaks Primitives has a few different patriotic ornament books or small pillows, smalls, that kind of a thing. And if you go to their Etsy shop or 123 Stitch, you'll see that they have quite a few of these in their library. I really enjoyed this one because I really loved the National Monument in South Dakota right here. And I think that's so cool that they did that. I really love this little pillow especially. So yeah, so that is Patriotic Book 2024, and I really do enjoy all of the smalls in there. I think that they're really unique, and I think that you get a little bit of everything. You get a house, you get the National Monument in South Dakota, you have a house, you've got a person, you've got Abe Lincoln, you've got someone riding a horse, you've got a boat, and you've got a bicycle. So you get a lot there. They have really great patterns, and they have a lot of these are very popular in their Etsy shop. The second pattern that I will be discussing is Founding of America. I love this sampler. First of all, the colors are gorgeous. I love the predominance of gold. I love the border on this. It says USA. It has the classic lettering. It has Betsy Ross and George Washington. Then you have 1776. You have quilt stars, the Liberty Bell, and you have Jefferson at his desk writing the Constitution, which is incredible. And it is incredible to think about how young Jefferson was when he was asked to do the writing of the Constitution. And it's just so incredible to think about how young our founding fathers actually were. Like, we think that they're all old men that wrote the Constitution. In reality, a lot of them were quite young. Anyway, yeah, I love this. I think this is just really gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. Very, very American. Let's see. Next we have, I think that would be just such a statement piece as well on your wall. Like, if you have a patriotic wall, that yellow, like, your eye is going to gravitate towards it. And that would go really well with that Chessie and Me blues and yellow cross stitch pattern that I shared in my last video. Anyway, next we are going to discuss Lady Liberty. So Lady Liberty, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. New York, 1886. I think that's pretty cool because you have statues of liberty sometimes, but this is such a great picture of what it probably looked like just having these boats reaching our shores. It's pretty amazing. Next we have Hope, which I loved this one because it was a small. A lot of these are quite large patterns from Twin Peak Primitives, but I thought this chicken was really pretty, and it's just really simple. Hope, you don't have to add the hope, you can just have the really pretty patriotic chicken, which I really, really like. This one I could see me stitching in the future too as a quick finish. Betsy Ross Sampler, this one is incredibly popular. And I think you can see why. First of all, I think that it's incredibly manageable. If you were to start this on Memorial Day and want to finish it by July 4th of this year, this would be completely manageable to do that. I love that it has a spinning wheel, Betsy Ross, the Liberty Bell, equal, you know, just everything. Our hearts aching, our prayers praying, our flag waving, never forget. I love this one, and it is extremely popular, as it should be, as well as if you have stitched a lot of the Little House Needleworks samplers, I think that this would go well with your collection of samplers if you did those. Like, if that's where your patriotic stitching has pretty much been, this would be one to add to your collection, I think. Incredible. Next, we'll discuss the One Nation Under God, which is quite beautiful. Trying to, oh, I just messed up my computer. No. I pushed too many buttons. Quit. All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, one nation under God. 1776, the White House, and just gorgeous motifs, and even some gorgeous blue butterflies. I love this one a lot. This is one that I hadn't really put on my radar before, and it is now. Is one that I'd like to stitch in the next few years, absolutely. Lastly, we have Sweet Land of Liberty. I chose this one because I think it's really pretty. I like that the size is so long, and it's really pretty. You get a lot of images, and I think this is classic Twin Peak Primitives in my mind. And there's a lot of flags, and there's a lot going on. It's an entire scene. Instead of it just being like a street or a town, you have an entire countryside, or, you know, it looks like one of those small colonies would have looked like, you know, on the shore. So anyway, I get carried away when I talk about these patriotic patterns, but I really like that. Like I said, Twin Peak Primitives has a lot of patriotic designs. I chose 7, and 1, I think that these were the most popular, and 2, these were the ones that I really liked the best. They have a lot of Kris Kringle or Santa Claus patriotic Kris Kringles to check out as well. I debated adding those, but then I thought I want to do a video this coming Christmas time where it's like patriotic Christmas, and so I saved those for those, so I don't want to be too redundant in what I show you. Anyway, they have an Etsy shop that you can go to, and if you go to my link down below, I have a link, it'll say Twin Peak Primitives, and it'll take you straight to their Etsy shop. This next company that I wanted to share is Annabella's, and this is a shop that has started to share cross stitch patterns, or not share, but sell cross stitch patterns. They sell cross stitch patterns. Obviously, they're a cross stitching shop, and has become a retreat center, I believe. But now they also sell their own cross stitch patterns, is what I'm trying to say. And there was a set of 3 that I really liked. I haven't seen very much, and that just might be me, but I really loved these. And they're the Stitch Rows. And so the first one is, what is it called? Is Stitch Rows Patriotic Flowers. Then you have Bowls and Berries, followed by Wilbur and the Blue Barn. And I didn't mean to go too quickly, but these are very detailed. I didn't look to see how big they were. I wish that I had, because they are so detailed. But these are a trio that would stand on their own. I think that they're very classy, and I think that they are so different than a lot of the patriotic designs that we see. And so I absolutely love these. I really like the bowls and the flowers. They remind me of some of like the stitching that you would see from the Leisurely Arts pamphlets from the 80s, but without the back stitch. And I love that they modernized some of those really pretty things that we would have seen in toll painting and those kinds of things. So anyway, I would love to see more people stitch rows. Next, I am sharing the America Home Sweet Home. I really like this one too, because I think that it's really bright and vivid. And I think that the little bitties that you get along with it are super cute. And this is another one that I'm surprised more people don't stitch. And I think that if you enjoy Emily Call's patterns, I could see you enjoying these as well, especially this sampler and the 3 small pillows that go with it. I think that's really cute. Lastly, I'm sharing the Patriotic Prim Stitch. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little stitches inside of it, and I think they're super cute. And these would be fast and easy for you to finish. You could stitch them and put them in the hoops, and then you can make them little ornaments, or you could just do little pillows too. So very cute. Following Annabella's, we're going to talk about Primrose Cottage Stitches. One or 2 of you said that you would like to see me talk about Primrose Cottage Stitches, and I'm sharing 5. They have more than 5, but these are the 5 that I wanted to share that I saw were the most popular. And first of all, I'm going to share 4th of July rules, because their rules are always incredibly popular, and I love this particular set of 4th of July rules. I really would like this in my collection because I think it's really cute, and I think that it's super bold and fun. And so yeah, this is something that I would like to have in my stitchy collection. Next is the Star Spangled Street. This is really classic. I think if you are a stitcher of like Finally Farm Girl, Twin Peaks Primitives, let's see what else, Stitching with the Housewives, and Heart and Hand, those kinds of things. I mean, this fits right in their own way. And then you have, next you have American Sampler. This is their newest release. This is their release this year. They had 2 other smalls that they released with this, but I chose to just share American Sampler. This is very classic. And I think it's a nod to what a lot of people would like to see. I think it's cute. Next, we have Patriotic Quaker. You guys see people stitching their Quakers all year long. They're super cute, and they're very, 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 very popular. And lastly, we have one of my favorites that they released is Red, White, and Blue Quilt, another really popular one, and I think that it's just so clean and well organized. I absolutely love this small. All right, so that is Primrose Cottage. I'm just flying through these today. I wanted to share 4 from Homespun Elegance. The first being Sampler Flag. And I'm sharing this one first is because I have this, I've had this in my stash, and it's actually a sealed chart. And so when I finally open it, it's gonna feel really special because I'm gonna be like, it was sealed and now it's not. Now I have to stitch it like right away because I broke its seal. So we're gonna stitch it up. But this is the year. So I'm excited to do this one. It looks like it should be a fast stitch, which I'm hoping it will be because I think it'd be super cute to add to my pillows back here. Next is the Patriotic Landscape, another one of those landscapes, but I think it's like very shepherd bush looking. And what I like about this is that it's grounded with this gigantic flag. So technically you could separate this into two patterns. You could just do the landscape, or technically you could just do the flag, which I think would be a super cute long pillow. And of course you can stitch it as it's designed all in one piece, but I love it. And next we have Summer Gathering, which is really adorable as well. I like her birds in this. I think that it's very, like, we see stacked patterns a lot. I think you see Bent Creek, you see, you know, the stacked, what are they called? From Pelham Street Samplers, which I meant to add the chickens, but I didn't. But this one I feel like held its own and was unique to Homespun Elegance. Lastly is actually one of my favorites of all 50. And I think it's the simplicity of it, and it is This Land of Ours. So this pattern says, this land of ours is a gift, cherish it. And it's not in your face patriotic. It's something that if you do have a patriotic wall all year long, or if you do have patriotic out all year long like I do, this is one that absolutely should be in your collection. And I absolutely love this one. This one is, I have never seen it before until making this video, and I definitely want this in my home. All right, next we are going to be talking about Little House Needleworks. So Little House Needleworks is actually, I think, the designer that I've stitched the most patriotic stitches from. No, that didn't sound right. Little House Needleworks is the designer who I've stitched the most patriotic pieces from. Yes, that makes sense. So first, we're going to go ahead and discuss the Early American series. This is a 9-part series, and I think that a lot of us have heard it. I think a lot of us have seen it. I have seen them stitched into little pillows at the Silver Needle. I absolutely love them. I would love to see them stitched all together in real life. I think it would be amazing. And this is one of those ones that in my lifetime I would love to have stitched and framed, and would be an heirloom. So yes, this is on my radar for some stitching. I don't know, maybe one year I just need to dedicate a whole year to it, and then be like, okay, if I stitch this in 9 months or whatever, a year, then I will get the reward of getting it stitched and framed, or stitched and framed. That would be nice. Framed, fully framed, and then it would be an heirloom piece for sure. I don't believe in passing all of my possessions on to my kids, but there are some handmade things that if they don't keep, I will come back and haunt them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding a little bit. So next, I'm going to be, you know, I'm just saying. Fortunately, I have at least 2 girls that they're going to be like, I remember mom stitching that, maybe. Who knows? We can all have hopes and dreams, and that's one of them, that they'll want my stitchies and that I stitch for them for their heirlooms. As I don't have very many heirlooms from my family. So one, I don't want to like pass on a whole bunch of possessions. I'd love to be able to pass on land. But like there's just some stitchy things like that that I think, you know, are just can withstand the time and the way that we can preserve things now. I would just love to see that, you know, like this is what was important to mom, or, you know, grandma, whatever. All right, we're moving on. Let's see, Betsy Ross. Okay, so I counted the Early American series as 1. So let me go through for the sake of the video. I got lost in my own thoughts there. Okay, so the Early American series, we have and these are not in order from 1 through 9 that they came out. I didn't do that. I found them, and that's the order. Okay, so we have Betsy Ross, Abigail Adams, Patrick Henry, Freedom, Paul Revere, Molly Pitcher, Nathan Hale, John Hancock, Martha Washington. All right, so that is the Early American series. Next to discuss is 13 Colonies, which another one, which is great. You have this entire sampler with the 13 colonies, a picture on the inside, beautiful symmetry. I mean, there was a lot of thought that went into that. So if you are not doing the, what was it? What was that sampler we talked about last video by Brenda Gervais? Anyway, if you don't do that one that I said you need, I can't think of the name of it. I'll put it here. This would be a great contender too. I like this one a lot. So yeah, so 13 colonies. Then we have Americana sampling, which I have stitched this one. I need to fully finish it. Ooh, I need to fully finish it. That would be great. I think I finished stitching it last year, so I need to put it up in a frame or something. I don't remember how big I got, or mine turned out. Americana sampling. This was a really fun and fast stitch. Next, we have 4 Freedoms. I also own this one. I love this one too. Freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, freedom from fear. Like that one. Then we have Old Glory. Super cute. This one would match well with the Primrose Cottage Stitches Americana House, or what do they call it? American Sampler. That would match well. That would go really well. Let's see. Then you have Suffrage Act. This was incredibly popular for a little while. So we have Suffrage Act proclaimed, vote 1920. This was incredibly popular for a few years. I don't know if it's popular this year, but I guarantee it's probably in a lot of people's stashes, or if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it but didn't know who designed it, this is Little House Needleworks Suffrage Act. And lastly, I will share Heart of America, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. And so again, this is one of those ones where you could stitch it all together, or you could stitch it into pillows or whatever you wanted to do. So you have peace, liberty, freedom, honor, old glory, land of the free. So there you go. And that is all I have to share today from Little House Needleworks. Excuse me, I'm sorry, my throat's a little bit scratchy as I think of allergies as usual. All right, we're going to talk about Pinker and Pumpkin quilting and stitching today. So these are all free patterns on her blogspot. So pinkerandpumpkinquilting.blogspot.com, I believe. Again, if you hit that link down below, it'll be linked straight to her website. And she has a ton of patterns for free. So she is a great resource. If you have not heard of Melissa, well, here you go. And if you are on a budget, or if you're getting into stitching and all of those things, or you can't, you know, justify purchasing more patterns, check out Melissa. Because Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting, she has great patterns. They're all stitched on Aida, and she's very consistent, and I love them. I love what she's designed. She has series that she's designed, and first one that I want to talk about is Pop Stamp. So this is one of her series. She has like a stamp series, and so this is her Americana one, and it's pop with little fireworks. Super adorable. You could finish that super fast. That would be a great gift to somebody too, if you wanted to gift them, or you were doing like an exchange. Next, you have Believe in Freedom, which is adorable. I had somebody ask me to do a 50s video on bees and probably bee skeps. So this is definitely somebody that I will be revisiting in that video. And that is another video to come. As soon as I finish the patriotic stuff, I want to do like beach themed video, or, you know, yeah, beach and ocean. I don't know. Don't hold me to it, but beach for sure. And I want to do bees. So those will be the ones coming out probably next, or in the near future. Anyway, so Believe in Freedom, super cute. Following that, we have Sarah Jane's 1776 salt box. So if you're a salt box stitcher, not the salt box stitcher, but you like to stitch salt boxes. I feel like I'm just overcomplicating what I'm saying today, but also I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. That's just where my mind is today. Stay with me, guys. Sarah Jane 7076 salt box. I like this one a lot. So if you're a house stitcher, check this one out. Moving on, we have Little Liberty Manor. So stinking cute. So in Little Liberty Manor, you have the little sheep, super adorable. And then also in this picture, you'll see another patriotic stitch. That's another one that she has for free on her website. I didn't list it today, but that's another freebie. So adorable. And it has the tree like I like, you know what I'm saying? Blue house, eagle, sheep, flag, berries. We're good. Okay, now next we have stars, stripes, and chickens. I fell in love with this last year. I have it stitched. So, oh, I have it stitched up there. Do I have it stitched up there? Or is it over here? It's right here. It's in my truck. I had it sitting in my little truck. So yeah, so this one I stitched last year. So stinking adorable. It's on Rit dyed Ada with whatever colors I had in stash. So stinking cute, and it was super fast, and I just finished it with some of this really pretty floral fabric that I love finishing my patriotic stitches with. This is from Hobby Lobby. If you're wondering, you can still buy it. I've seen it populate more and more, and just a whip stitch on the bottom, but I really love this one. She has a whole series of this gal through the seasons, so if this is appealing to you, check out all of her other patterns too. So stinking cute. They're not all with chickens, but you know. So yeah, so that one is that, and like I said, I just have it in my Americana truck back there. All right. Following this, we have Patriotic Jar, which she has another whole series about these jars. This one has the beautiful eagle and free flag. Need I say more? I love these ones. And then another one, this one I want to stitch this year if I have the time. I would love to. Is her Croc 1776 Croc. On her website it says that this is one of her first designs, and I love her Crocs. Like, she has a whole series of Crocs, like I think 8 of them. I love them all. I love them all. I have not stitched enough of her designs, and I would love to stitch this one. Anywho's, so that's 1776 Croc by Pinker and Pumpkin. Quilting and stitching. I mean, just so many good ones. And her block spot is set up just the same as Priscilla's from the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. So if you go into her like topics or what she's tagged, certain posts, you can search what you're looking for. Does that make sense? It's, you know, if you're familiar with how the old blogger or blog spot set up, that's how it is. I mean, I love visiting sites like that too, because it's kind of like a blast from the past. I had a blog spot, and I switched over to WordPress, and I still miss it. I loved how Blogspot was set up. Anywho, so go check her out. All right, now lastly, we're going to discuss Plum Street samplers. And I thought about saying this earlier and I didn't, but another reason why like my videos are typically like 40, 45 minutes max is I live in the country, y'all, okay? And I have T-Mobile and I have Wi-Fi, and I'm lucky with what I got, because I didn't used to have any access to Wi-Fi at all for years. And now I do. But still, like, we had a couple months where our internet was pretty killer, but now I have to upload the videos from my phone. And so if I go beyond 45 minutes, like, it's almost just not, like, I'm not going to be able to produce videos. So I have to keep these shorter. I would love to do like hour and a half videos and do like 100 patterns in one video, because I love to sit and stitch, especially like stitching phase long videos. I love them, but it's just not a reality for me. So if you were wondering why like I didn't do more per video, that's why. I know a lot of you are probably like, okay, Bri, we hear about you on the internet. We know, but maybe you don't. So just saying. Okay, so we have 18 to go through. And let's just get started. So first is, this is going to take me a little bit longer because I have to scroll up and down. But first we have Liberty's Welcome. This is so gorgeous. So this is set up as like a couple of her other ones, like Ghoul, Tide. I shouldn't be saying names of things I don't know. But it's set up in, like, she has a couple different patterns set up like this. And this one is Liberty's Welcome. So gorgeous, so clean, so pretty. And Paulette, seriously, she has some of the most beautiful patriotic patterns. Like, they're just, I don't know, like, you just see the pattern and you're like, that's Paulette Stewart, who's the designer of Plum Street Samplers. Anyway, next we will share, I will share God Shed His Grace on Thee. I really like this one. This one is super clean. I imagine this in like one of those like home and living houses where it's just like clean, better homes and gardens, that kind of a thing, where it's just like the pattern is so clean. Oh, good job. Okay, gonna just go hang out for a minute, okay? I got like another 10 minutes.
Got it.
Thank you. She's doing homeschool. Anyway, I think that this is just so neat and clean. I really like this one. Moving on. Okay, this one, the Heritage Sampler. I love this one. This is another, like, to me, looks like a behemoth kind of a pattern. But I would love to stitch this one. I would love to stitch this one, and another heirloom piece that I would love to be like, here is some American history, but in stitching, you know, like it visually tells a story. I love it. Love it, love it. And following in the same kind of vein, you have New Constellation, except I don't see this one stitched nearly as much as I see Heritage Sampler stitched, but I love the flowers. I love the symmetry. I like all of it. There's probably a lot more stitching in this one if I were to guess, but maybe that's just me, because there's a lot of stitching in both of them. It's just that one seems to have more negative space than the other one, but I don't know if that's exactly true. Oh, and the Heritage Sampler has that symmetry too. I mean, like I said, they're set up very similarly. So those would be great companion pieces too, if you have the patience to stitch both of those, which a lot of you do have. I envy you. Following those beauties, we're going to talk about God Bless America. I love this one. This one I think would match so well if you're a Blackbird design stitcher. This reminds me of Blackbird designs. I think like you could have like a trio, or probably even more if I were to look, but like there was one from Brenda Gervais that was similar to this. Then you have this one, God Bless America, with the bird, and just how like it's designed is so cute. And then Blackbird designs, like I think you could just put those together and have them be partners, but then be in different art styles. You know what I'm saying? Okay, moving on. George and Martha. I love how many different people Paulette has. Plumshoes. I'm calling her by her first name like we're gal pals. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe we are. She just doesn't know it yet. We're pals. Okay, so we have George and Martha, which I think is cute because they're standing on the house. Because, I mean, really, it's the house that they built. And I like the brighter colors for this. And then I think that's different. Okay, here's one that I hadn't seen. And it's Betsy's Stockings. I think I'm going out of order. I will talk about that in a second. Next is Summertide Blessings. I like this one too because I think this one is one of the more whimsical. I think this was a good choice if you stitch like her more whimsy patterns. I think that Summertide Blessings is there for you. Plus this one has some of the least amount of stitching, it looks like. But I always say that about Plum Street samplers, and then you open the pattern and you're like, this is way more stitching than I would have anticipated, but it's worth it. Okay, so moving on from Summertide Blessings is Betsy's Stockings. I added this to one of my cards. But it is a trio of stockings, and they're so pretty. I don't think that these would take a terribly long time to stitch. And these would coordinate really well with like a trio. Like she has three, no, I'm thinking of Little House Needleworks. Little House Needleworks has a trio of kits that you can pick up. Like I haven't seen just the pattern by themselves. Like you have to purchase them as a kit I think so. And so I have stitched 2 of the 3 of them, but I didn't mention them because they were kits. Anyway, so Betsy's Stockings, I really like these. I would stitch these in a heartbeat, and I would like these in my collection. Moving on, we're going to talk about Party Tarts. I think these are cool. I don't see these stitched very often, but I think these are cool because you have Democrats and Republicans in the same dough bowl. I think it's cool. Democratic Republic, I mean, I think it's cool. So moving on, Summer Hill. This one's really pretty. This is another really pretty whimsy one, and if you like stitching girls or females, that kind of a thing in history, but with less seriousness, I love this one, and there's a lot at play there. I think I like it. Then we have George Decorates for Martha. Okay, so this is a fall USA patriotic pattern, but I wanted to share it because it is patriotic. It's not summer, but I don't know. I haven't seen this before, and I love it. I think that I could see a lot of people that I watch on FLOSSTUBE stitch this, and maybe they already have. So I really liked this one, and I just wanted to bring it to attention because it's really playful. And finally, we have Betsy's Tart. This is another one that I think was really popular when it came out, and everybody stitched it when it came out, and then I haven't seen it as much. I like how muted it is, and I think it's really different with the balloons. I like this one a lot. This is another one that I think would be really fun to stitch. Okay, I have quite a bit more. Liberty Inn is next. Is that what it's called? Yes, Liberty Inn. I like this one a lot. I don't know if that house is fully stitched or if she just stitched an outline and then you have the blue quilting stars inside of it. I can't tell. But that's really pretty and completely unique. I haven't seen any other houses like this one. Moving on, we have Betsy's House, which I almost bought from Silver Needle like last year, and I wish that I had. I love this one a lot, and I think it's very bold. And again, that yellow and gold, if you stitch some of those other pieces that I shared, this would match very well. So you could have like, even like if you have like one wall, like you could just have that up with the yellow. I think it'd be really pretty. Okay, and we have John and Abigail. So we had Martha and Mr. Washington. What was it called? George and Martha. I knew I wasn't saying it. George and Martha, and then we have John and Abigail. It's really pretty, completely different, and you have the bee skip in there, so I think it's really cute. I like it. Then we have American Mermaid, which is completely unique. And so you have a big house with the waves, and you're a mermaid. I think this would be really cute, especially if you live on the coast, to tie in that coasty cottage vibe with the Americana. I think this would be super cute. Then we have Nelson, which is one of her releases from Nashville Market this year, 2024 release. Nelson. And finally, Stars, which is another one of her 2024 releases, and big, vibrant, and beautiful, and it says Stars on the side, and is completely unique. So that is 18 different patterns by Plum Street Samplers. Is this all of her Patriotic patterns? No. No, it is not. But it is a lot of them. And I had such a good time finding and sharing these with you. So that'll do it. 50 different patterns and a good deep dive into a lot of the people that we all know and love. So next week, let me put this over here and get situated. Excuse me. So next week I will be uploading another one of these videos next Wednesday. I like having these be uploaded on Wednesdays. It's easy for me to kind of keep one a week because it does take quite a bit of work to put these together, which I'm very happy to do. But next week I would like to do Stitching with the Housewives for sure. I'd love to do Teresa Kogut for sure. And from there, I've got quite a few other people that I would like to share. I just don't know how many of those heavy hitters I'm going to be sharing in that video. So I just have to see how I can balance it all. But I definitely knew that I wanted to share the people that I did today. So definitely Teresa Kogut, who has so many good patterns. Definitely Stitching with the Housewives, which I've definitely stitched some of their patriotic patterns as well. And just a joy to be looking through all of these. I have two of Stitching with the Housewives up there right now on display. And so I'll have to bring those down for my next video. And so beyond that, I definitely know that there's Stacey Nash that I want to talk about. I talked about her, and there's quite a few other ones that I've seen release patriotic patterns this year that I would like to share. But if there is anybody that you're like, Brianna, I'd like to see you mention this designer, comment down below, because that puts them to the forefront of my mind. And again, all of your comments and your commentary down below is so helpful to me. And I just want to say thank you for watching these and sharing these, and to the designers who have shared me on your platforms. I am so appreciative to you. These are such a joy to be sharing your works of art, because all of these designers are artists in their own way, and I just really appreciate that. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you haven't already, please like this video so the YouTube algorithm sends me out further into the universe. Also, if you think a friend would like this video, please share me on Instagram, share me at Brianna_Lentz, share this video with them, or, you know, just help me get out there, because I think a lot of stitchers would like these videos or just find them really informative, because not everybody has a local needlework shop. So don't forget that you can send these videos by hitting that share button down below too. That'd be so helpful to me. And make sure that you're notified from when my next video is going to populate, because I've got a lot coming out. All right, you guys, I'll see you guys in my next project and in my next video. Until then, bye.